Hello and welcome to another tank preview, and today we have two American tanks, the TS-6 on tier 9 as a heavy tank and the IMT as a tier 8 on medium class. Now, before we start with these two tanks, I want to quickly say I have a confession to make. I saw these tanks and I've noticed, my goodness, they are boring as F. Like, genuinely, the TS-6 looks completely fugly, and it has a 460 alpha gun, so that's unique. But other than that, it has nothing really going for it except, oh, it's another hold-down heavy tank. And the IMT looks also fugly as hell, but at least it has a 360 alpha gun on tier 8 on a medium tank. But I've kind of made this relation as like, damn, these tanks are both super boring. And I was like, oh crap. Did I really just got too accustomed to constantly having new gimmicks to make tanks interesting? Am I now really feeling like wargaming is running out of ideas and we have to have always gimmicks? Like we have in World of Warships, where every new line has to have some way or another a gimmick? So yeah, this is my confession. I hope that I can get away from this again and I can appreciate classic World of Tanks tanks, and to not get pulled into the thinking that every single tank has to have a gimmick. Because that's generally just happened to me and that's scary. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. Do new tanks always have to have a gimmick? At least the latest gimmicks which came to the game aren't completely broken, like back in the days the EBR release, for example. But the latest gimmicks we've got, which is now the new double barrel guns, they don't really feel that broken or strong. They are strong, yes, but I don't think they're broken. Check lights are not broken, and the polish CDs aren't really broken. The Types heavy line, the new heavy line with the cool mechanic, not broken. Yo tanks not broken, you know. So I guess I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. I just saw the tanks and this on first glance and even on second glance, except for the IMT, I feel like they're completely boring. So boring. But let's start off with the TS-6 and compare it to three of its brethren. The A phase 1, which is a little bit unfair because it's very strong. AK that one I would call broken because it's one of the best hold-down heavy tanks on tier 9. The T-54 heavy. I believe most of you forgot that this thing exists and actually is playable and was sold once and is garbage. And the AMX M454 and I am a Bose. There we go. Now, again, the TS-6's gimmick is its 460 alpha gun, which is on a 120mm diameter, which is good. That's a strong alpha. That hurts if it hits. The hitting part might be a little bit of an issue because it has 0.39 accuracy and 2.7 seconds aim time. Yes, it is not as inaccurate as the T-54 heavy, but the aim time is on the lower spectrum. Yes, we do not know what the accuracies are when it comes to movement, but it could well be that it will not be good. The DPM is also fairly lackluster because it is at 2029. Which is the lowest of the three which we have here selected. And 10 degrees of gun depression, yippee, that's good, at least. Pull down heavy, you know. The mobility, yeah, kind of slow. 42 kph is the slowest of the bunch, 14 kph in reverse, so that's a plus point. It's faster than the AE phase 1, but it has the worst HP per ton ratio by quite a bit, 12.5 compared to the 14.4, and even the, 16.00 of the A phase 1 of the AMX 4. So if it doesn't have superb terrain soft stats, it is going to be very slow. Also, I'm surprised it doesn't have a track mechanic, because it kind of does look like a yo tank. And mobility wise, other than that, it turns okay-ish, turret turns okay-ish, so that's fine. That's okay. Hit point wise, it is in the middle, so that is okay. And now the armor. 250 on the turret, that is, especially it will most likely be here and the gun shield will be stronger, and the good thing is the cupola is fairly far in the back, making it hard to hit. So something like the A phase 1 cupola, which is a B and a half to punish. The thing will most likely be just that, in theory, your average tier 9 heavy tank will be able to pen here if this really is just 250mm of armor. AKA, it is easy to penetrate. It's a 50-50 with standard rounds, and with gold ammunition, everybody's going to smash right through. Because the TS-60 also has at least 310mm of APCR pen, but it's also APCR pen, and you know, not that good anymore. But at least it doesn't have a massive cupola like our friend over here. You know, this cupola is absolutely massive, and the armor on this cupola is very, very, very poor. View range wise, 380, bad. Plain simple, it's bad. And the whole armor of 150 depends. Like, the angle doesn't really look enough to count as being good armored, but I guess it will be a decent side scraper because it doesn't really have any weird-ish. Yeah, maybe. This one looks a little bit iffy, but you know, it's so hard to compare paper stats when you don't have the 3D model, so it is what it is. Nevertheless, this tank is getting made or broken by its gun handling. If it has good gun handling, then it will be a good tank. If it has bad gun handling, it will be another one of these frustrating tanks which nobody really plays anymore. At least it doesn't have a cupola which is, you know, massive like that one of the T-54. But then again, this might also be bad because you take away a way of counterplaying the tank or playing the tank well, like the E5 does, you know? I'm a little bit torn with the TS-6, but one thing which I'm not torn on is how incredible fugly this tank. Seriously, that's one hell of a waterhead, you know? Now, let's move over to the IMT. Not IMP, but IMT. People which know will know. The IMT is, I guess, more unique than the TS-6 because it has this 360 Alpha gun on a fairly mobile chassis with a decent chunk of armor. So that is cool, I guess, because its DPM isn't. The DPM is 1760. Yes, it is better than the Iron Arnie ones, but it really lacks compared to the AAT-60 and the Object 274A. But then again, the AAT-60 does have other remarkable features, being its decent gun handling, again, it's very good DPM, and its slow top speed. The IMT, with its 360 Alpha, 210 pen, that's fine. APCR 264 pen, that's okay. Same shell velocity as the TS-6, which are fine. The aim time, 2.7, that is long. And 0.37 accuracy, that is annoying. Because the pen, if the gun handling is comparable to the Object 274A, like the hidden stats. Sorry, ladies and gents, this tank is going to be garbage. I hated the 274A for its atrocious gun handling. It really did destroy the tank for me. So, let's hope it doesn't have that issue. Seriously, the gun handling, it really can make or break a tank. And I might even, again, I might go as far as saying, just put this tank with better gun stats on tier 9. If it has bad gun handling stats. Because it's so annoying for the player and the person which is playing against those tanks to get hit by a random shot, like the XM57. It is frustrating to play as you as a player, because there's bad gun handling, and you on the receiving end are going to be frustrated when he hits a snapshot because of his bad gun handling, you know? And the IMT might be the perfect candidate, where a tier 9 bump would be so much better for gameplay and game fun. So yeah, 10 degrees of gun depression, hey, at least that's something, right? It has 50 kph top speed, which is not the fastest of the bunch, but it's still pretty good, but it has a very bad HP per ton ratio, 13.8, which is the worst of the three which we have here to compare to. 40 degrees to hull traverse and 34 degrees turret traverse, these are pretty good. Now to the armor. The armor is pretty interesting. I assume that this one has an M46 pattern-like hull. It has this 101mm of frontal hull armor, which, fun story, the Iron Arnie does have too, but it has spaced armor there. And it has 203mm of turret armor in the front. Obviously, this is very hard to judge how good is this turret armor going to be, because, for example, when we go in tanks.gg and have a look at another tier 8 medium tank which recently come to the game and apparently recently is being tested, is the Prototypo 6. I just have to find it. There it is. It has on paper, we just have to check it, 170mm of turret armor, which got nerfed, but it's fine. But as you can see, it's not really reflecting. The gun mantlet is 160mm. And just these turret phrases have 170, meaning that the gun mantlet is one big massive weak spot. So this might be the case with this one as well, but then again it has a little bit of a duckbill, so it isn't. Needless to say, it is always hard to judge tanks and its armor profile just from the paper trail. 1250 hit points, a little bit on the lower end. It's not as bad as the 274A, but it is okay-ish. And 390 view range, which is totally fine. A-okay, we take that. Also, these tracks, they look like they are wrongly modeled. They just don't fit this tank. You know, they're so wide. But I guess maybe that's why it has good ground resistance as wargaming, maybe? You know, it would make sense because it has much wider tracks, so its ground pressure is a lot better. Who knows? I don't. And nevertheless, I think I yapped enough about these tanks, so let me know in the comment section below what you think about these two. I think the IMT is a little bit more the interesting one. The TS-6 is completely rested and sleeper. Will be made or broken by the gun handling, and same goes for the IMT. Pretty much. But do you understand now what I mean by these tanks being boring? You know? It's literally like, oh, they're made or broken by their soft stats in the gun handling, like every other tank they recently introduced. It's boring. But I don't want them to have another gimmick which might be uselessly tacked along. So, I don't know. That's weird. I seriously don't know what to say, so let's cut the video.